Welcome to another wonderful week here on the Golden Guardians YouTube channel and on our Twitch channels. We are joined by our first repeat guest ever, besides like Zan and Nunn and people who are on Golden Guardians. The first repeat guest ever. Everyone said this past weekend was the story of Moky, so we had to get him on. What's up, Moky? How you doing?
What's up?
Hey, nice shirt.
Thank you. I coincidentally actually wore this before you asked me too.
No way.
I did. Yeah, I honestly I haven't worn it in a while, and I just wore it today for some reason. I was just going out to do errands, and I was just like, yeah, I wore it, and
we snagged Moky today, so you guys know. So this was he
Sick.
got him today. We got him today. It all came together, man. It's looking good on you, might I say.
Serendipitous.
Yeah, no, it's a coincidence. I guess it's a sign.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you were the story of last weekend. I felt like I definitely spent a lot of time watching your stream, and that was the run, dude. That was one hell of a run.
Thank you.
Third place, right? The
Yeah.
Zane Moky Mango tier? Is that what's going on?
I mean, some people are saying. I would say that.
People are saying it.
Yeah,
saying it.
people are saying it. People are saying it. Dude, yeah, PP, did you were you able to catch any of LACS? Were you what were you up to?
It was cool, man. Yeah, I was checking out, especially the top 12. I was in there in the YouTube stream, the different space, the different atmosphere.
Oh, dude.
But yeah,
I am so lost watching YouTube streams.
I had to get used to it, man. The chat,
it's so different.
That's weird. It doesn't look right if you're off. If you leave and come back, like the picture quality goes, you have to wait. It's weird, man. It's a different universe.
Yeah, it's this whole thing. But it was dope. I'm glad Ludwig put it on. Shout outs to Ludwig.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what are we gonna do? We need.
Ludwig.
Yeah, we could try to get him. We could try to get him one of these weeks, dude. I'm trying to oh man, I don't even know what the next like big net play tournament is. But I was a little inspired. I want to start playing again. I want to enter some. Yeah,
that's a good one. And,
I guess there's weeklies all the time. I guess those are the ones people do. And then HBox streams his run. Pops off.
He does.
East Coast Fridays.
Man, HBox, a guy that I think we really are also going to talk about in relation to you, Moky. I think there was so much talk about you and about HBox and about the two of you and everything.
HBox tweeted Moky has to be top 16 now.
Right. Yeah. And that's kind of what my first question is about is I don't think it was just HBox. I do think there were other people, but HBox was the prominent one here that had you ranked lower than you certainly would have liked, and I think maybe other people would have expected you to be. And so I guess I kind of wanted to ask you a two-part question. Why do you think some people ranked you that way? And how good did it feel to show them up, I guess?
I think it's just kind of like, because we're in a weird time with COVID, right? It's like, it's kind of weird to properly, I guess, rank people because some of the stuff is online, some of it's offline, and then people have varying opinions on if it counts or if it doesn't or whatever. So I think it's just kind of like, I think it's just people I don't know. It's just online isn't counted as much, and I couldn't travel that much because I'm Canadian. It's a pain in the ass to travel during COVID. Yeah. So I think it's just like some people value it more, some people value it less, and I just think, I guess HBox specifically was probably valuing it less, and so same with a lot of people, which is unfortunate. I personally, my personal opinion, I think that if when COVID's going on, when online tournaments are all we have, we should probably value it pretty similarly because we don't really have anything else, right? But that's and it felt good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, let me answer that one.
We love it when the gamers feel good, when they get some justice in the world. So where would you, I mean, there's a couple ways I can go with this, but where do you think, before the weekend or after the weekend or however you feel about it, where would you put yourself? And, how do you feel about, do you think that it would have been better if Canada had any offline events, just to tie that into what you were talking about before?
I think beforehand, I don't really know exactly. I think I did have a really good first half of last year, online.
Of last year.
Well. Yeah, 2021. I was I the first half, I was top 6 for the first little bit. I was going ham. And then obviously I would have fallen because I couldn't enter as much. But I also think that the fact that I'm Canadian, whatever, you probably have to weigh it like a bit differently because it's not like I'm like not just going to stuff. It's like it's kind of like like not as Leffen-y as Leffen's scenario, but it's like like it's like halfway to Leffen's kind of awful spot that he was in. So like it's yeah, I don't know. I just think what was it? Wait, what was I'm blanking. 1 second. What's what was the rest of the first question?
Don't worry about it. We'll just follow along with what you're saying because I think that's the more interesting part anyway. I saw some people saying that there was an attendance issue, which is something I've been meaning to bring up as we talk about this. And I don't think people were necessarily talking about offline, but if there were more offline events happening, then there probably weren't that many prestigious online events happening in the second half of the year. So is that what you think people were penalizing you for? Just you weren't attending, but it wasn't really your fault. You would have if you could have.
Yeah.
But there just weren't that many big online events or online events that you could really get any more wins at. Was that kind of what was going on, do you think?
Yeah, because like I went to Summit, which is like an offline thing, and I felt pretty comfortable going there because it was like an invitational. And shout outs to the Summit crew because they kind of sort it out. Because basically to travel to the States as a Canadian, you have to like pay for expensive tests going there and going back. It was like $230 per test.
Oh wow!
And then like you have to like schedule that in your tournament going experience. And like if you catch COVID in the States, then like you can't go back home for a few weeks. And like
oh geez,
it's kind of like it just. Not the best situation.
Yeah.
So I think like I didn't really feel comfortable doing it because it was a pain and it's it's just I don't know. And I think people were penalizing that because I just wasn't able to travel and like some people were going to stuff still. Because I know Nunn went to the Smash World Tour, but he
complained about all of the travel stuff. So that was what I was going to bring up is he hated that. He said I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah. Because it's a pain. It's not the most ideal.
Yeah, I tried. I did the like international travel thing like one time recently, and when I went to Mexico, and I was like, yeah, it's definitely a pain, and you have to like plan your whole trip around it, right? Because you need to you need to basically make sure like, okay, I need to be able to get a test within, and I know for Canada the rules are even stricter than flying to the U.S. because to fly home to Canada you got to get a PCR test. It can't just be an antigen test.
Yeah.
And you got to plan your whole thing around it. Not to mention PCR tests can be more sensitive. So like you always have this thought in the back of your mind, like, all right, well, what if I actually get COVID and then I can't go home? It's like, well, that's gonna suck. So, I definitely don't blame you. I'm really hoping. I mean, this is something that I saw like even on Mango Stream. He was like recapping the tournament. He's like, damn, Moky's gotten so good. Like, I can't wait to play Moky offline. Have some real good sets because he's gotten so good. And I feel like that's just kind of like everything right now is, I don't know, even like this, like I saw the MPGR stuff this morning and I was like, it's like a little bit more like, I don't know, it feels like a half ranking because it's like, it's not really ranking anybody. It's just like letter tiers. It's just like it's like a tier list kind of thing. It's like not, I'm almost looking at it's like, it's just some way to put something out because it's like, we haven't had any ranking in so long that it's like we just got to do something, and it's like I think only offline results.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is weird. Like I feel like with PGR, it's such a weird spot because this was something I was thinking about. Like the PGR is kind of in a weird spot. I feel like they can only really use offline results, right? Because I feel like Panda, obviously they're doing things with they're doing things with Nintendo. I feel like they might not be the kind of organization that would want to use online results or like I don't know. I don't know if that's even a consideration, but I feel like it could be. But I almost feel like maybe we should have, because I know even in the Ultimate scene, they have like another, I know this thing goes around every couple months called Orion Rank, which is just like another body of panelists that do community rankings that's not owned by Panda. And they can use different methodology. Like, for example, I think the Orion Rank actually does attempt to merge the NA and Japan results, which the PGR doesn't. Like they've been keeping it separate because there's no obviously international travel. And I almost wonder if there's like if we've gotten to a point with Melee where the online competition it's so much more legitimate than Ultimate's online competition that we can actually use it, like you said. And I think it'd be really interesting for somebody to make to make some form of like semi-official / official rankings that actually do count online tournaments. I'd be very interested in that, but I don't know.
I agree. I think like again, like I said, I think like when online tournaments are all we have, then it feels kind of weird to not
To not count it.
like count them, especially because like if we're not counting that, then it's not really a reason to do it. And then if there's no reason for people to enter, then Melee's in a bad spot. It's kind of like my concern.
That's hella true. That was one of the questions we got last week, right? We had a caller basically asking, like, what do you think is the purpose of rankings? And I was like, look, I mean, ultimately, whether you like it or not, people want to be recognized for their hard work. And rankings are pretty much the way that we do that, besides obviously paying you with prize money. Rankings are the way for you to look back and be like, yeah, okay, I did my shit. And people recognize and respect that. And, you know, it's not like it only happens with rankings. Like, for example, like, remember how people started talking about, like, the Mango Zane tier, how it's like, okay, Mango and Zane are number 1, number 2. That happened, like, online. Like, that happened during online tournaments. It was, like, SCL and, like, you know, Summit 10. Like, those were the tournaments where it was, like, oh, Mango and Zane are the number 1, number 2. And that was even before there were any official rankings. Like, people just kind of agreed on that. So it's like, there are ways that people recognize the efforts of top players even without official rankings coming out, but like it's so much. I just think it feels so much more official when there's some way to actually crystallize it, and you can say like, yeah, like this is my ranking for the season, like blah blah blah. I think people really need that.
Because I think the thing is like, especially as Melee players, like I feel like people don't really play it for like the money, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's not like like if you wanted the money, you'd go play like Fortnite and, you know, destroy some kids or something at it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like people play it to be better than people and to prove themselves, and also because they love the game. So it's just like, I don't know. It's like people just want to be better than people.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much. Well, I think you know, just to remind people who are in our chats, there's a very easy way to hop on and ask us questions. Live on air, you're going to be able to actually just, you're going to be able to actually just talk to us. We're going to hear your voice. You're going to hear our voice. It's going to be wonderful. And that's with !Radio Melee in chat. !Radio Melee, just join that Discord, click on that Discord link. And then you'll be in the Golden Guardians Discord server where you can ask us questions and we'll actually drag you into our voice chat. Like we're about to drag our first caller, because we already do have some questions of people who know how this works.
Toph, we got a community voice.
Oh, we got to do community voice? Oh my god, it's not time for our first caller yet. What was our community voice question? I believe we had Taffa on, and Taffa was asking, we were talking about, actually it's very pertinent, we're talking about rankings. And we're talking about, in terms of the rankings, or not even rankings, but in terms of just player skill, who do you think, by the end of 2022, who do you think, to all the people out there, will be the most improved Smash player? In other words, who's going to improve the most this year? Yeah, by the end of this year. And we got some answers that are.
I'm looking at the middle answer, and I'm already popping off, and this is funny. Yeah. But that's
You want to read it? You want to read the whole thing?
I want to read the whole. I was just skimming it, and I saw the word egotistical, and I was like, this is going to be a good post.
Yeah.
So
POTUS
the Goatus says not to be too egotistical, but I personally think I might have a shot of being the most improved. I've been playing since Slippy dropped, and I have been making a splash in the Jacksonville Melee scene, grinding nonstop, going to locals, and taking the sets I need. I've been studying my VODs, watching my gameplay, and hitting my mix-ups all over your crappy secondary Falco. You may not know who I am yet, but not for long. Just wait for LACS and you'll see. POTUS, who's that? The guy who upset Aura at Smash World Tour? Yes, it is. And your favorite top player is next. POTUS the Goatus won't just be top 100. POTUS the Goatus won't settle for reaching top 8s, and he doesn't need your admiration or respect. By the end of this year, you'll be able to drop the us from the end of my name. Who's Armada? What's Mango Nation? The only goat you'll be needing in 2022 is me. This is a terrifying human being, and we need to stop them before they get out of control. Can we agree on that?
Did they actually upset Aura at Smash World Tour?
I don't know, but if they did, this is actually insanely funny. But it's also really funny if they didn't.
Like, I'd be able to just search that up, right? Like, in theory, I could just search, like, Aura Smash World Tour and watch Aura's sets, and, like, in theory, it'd be in there somewhere.
Honestly, I love if they just didn't. They just threw that in there.
They
just
definitely threw that in there.
Google it, yeah.
Yeah. Well, good for POTUS the GOATUS. Yeah, I mean, that's the spirit, right? That's the spirit. Cameron Melee, but with one E, so it's more like meal. Says my boy Wevins from Tallahassee is a super solid purple. I've heard of Wevins.
Yeah,
I don't think I played him, but I think I have heard of him. Okay, Wevins, we got a Samus up there.
Yeah.
And El is Real was saying Mech. Mech is a Falcon that has been putting in a lot of work. And El is Real is predicting that Mech will ascend to a top 30 or even top 20 player by the end of the year. He's already shown he can hold his own against players like J-Flex, and his mentality towards improvement and loss is nothing short of fantastic. Wow. Yeah, I've seen Mech.
He gets hype.
He does. I remember the first time I ever saw him was even against a Sheik. Because I remember a long time ago, it was like a tournament in 2018 or 2019. Might have been a big house. I remember he took a game off Mutaking in pools. And I was like, oh, that's pretty hard to do if you're not, if you're not like really, really good. Mutaking can definitely walk all over you in that matchup.
Yeah.
So that's when I first kind of showed up on my radar.
Yeah, I mean, these are good answers, but I'm wondering, Moky, do you have anyone, and this could be someone, you could say yourself, you could say someone else you've been watching. Do you have any predictions for who you think out of everyone in the community could be a most improved player of 2022?
I'm gonna be honest. I think POTUS the GOATUS sold me quite a bit, but
yeah.
Are we talking like kind of purely like ranking wise?
We can
be anybody.
It doesn't. It's just how like if someone just grows the most, and that can be. And it doesn't have to be tournament results wise. Although you're probably going to see tournament results if they are going to grow more than anyone else.
I have to go for my boy Swift.
Okay,
because everybody when he went to Summit, I remember I was saying, it's like, I swear it, my heart of hearts, I play him a lot. He's one of the people I play the most, and I was like, he is so good. I would not be shocked if he beat anyone there. Like he could beat everyone,
and he almost did beat a lot of people there.
And he almost beat all of them. Yeah,
he just like barely didn't. And I was like, okay, like I know he can, and I think that now that he's probably going to be entering some more stuff and be around more, get more top level practice. Like even this weekend he got 9th. He beat SFAT. And I don't think people like talk about that. Like that's a huge win.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna make waves. He's really good.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I definitely think he's already, especially considering if we're talking about the year 2020 or 2022, like he's already started. Like he's probably the most ahead of the curve in terms of this question. Like he's probably the one who is the most improved relative to like where he was, even I don't know mid like 2021.
Yeah, he seems like a good pick for last year's. Can you pull off the 2-peat?
Yeah. And it wasn't even just LACS, right? Like I think there was a tournament.
Oh yeah,
he won over HBox, right? That one.
Yeah. There was a tournament, or he got like I think he won in winners, but I think HBox won. I think he got second.
Okay. I think that was Galint.
Yeah, I think it was Galint. So he got second at that, which is also like really crazy. So second at that.
I think I'm pretty sure.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking. I might be thinking Giga Schwab. It was Giga Schwab. It was Giga Schwab.
Okay.
It was Giga Schwab.
The other G.
Yeah. The other G. So yeah, I actually think that's a really good answer. Well, but at the end of the program, we're also going to ask you, Moky, for a question that you want to deliver to our YouTube audience. So basically, just it can be any question, just something that you'd want to ask the Melee community. And our loyal YouTube viewers are going to have the opportunity to just like answer that and be featured on next week's Radio Melee. Whatever question you want to ask them.
It can also be nonsense, but
Yeah, it can be. Yeah, we've had all kinds of questions. Like Polish was asking about what's that guy's name?
Who would Elijah Wood main?
Yeah. Who would Elijah Wood main in Melee?
I may never forget that one.
Yeah. Although, what did they say? Didn't they say like?
I think it was Luigi.
Was it Luigi? Didn't someone say like Link, or am I just imagining that because Lord of the Rings? I feel like Link is like a Lord of the Rings. Looks like Legolas.
I could believe that though. Yeah.
Yeah, Luigi would be a good Hobbit main. Although I guess I don't know. I'm sure Elijah Wood feels like, come on, man, don't just pigeonhole me just because I played Frodo that one time.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's got a very eclectic body of work.
He's got a range for sure.
He might. Yeah, I don't know because I've only really seen Lord of the Rings, but I mean I'm sure he does.
Oh, maybe we should take our first caller.
Let's do it. Let's bring our first caller in, and we've got Wooj. What's up, Wooj? Welcome to the program.
What's up?
Where are you calling in from?
I am from SoCal, Fulton, California.
Oh, what's up, dude?
What's
So
up?
what's your question for us today, Woosh?
So, as we all know, last weekend was Genesis, which is a really awesome event. And the fact that we were able to raise 20K for a community our size is really
Awesome.
sick. However, it was ultimately short of the 50K that they had displayed as their goal. And especially like considering when half of it came from CLG, which shout out to CLG, that was awesome that they dropped 10K for the donations. When I tune into like speedrunning events like Awesome Games Quick, where they consistently hit like 7 figures in donations by the end of the event, and much bigger audience, much more disposable income, all those things. But I feel like one of the biggest reasons for their fundraising success is all the donation incentives that they have. Like they have a bunch of prizes that you can enter a minimum donation for, and you enter a raffle. There's also like locked or secret incentives that like if they hit like $1 million, then there'll be like a bonus game that they'll add to the schedule, impromptu and stuff like that. So I was wondering, what would be your like for each of you guys? What would be like 1 or 2 ideas that you would give to an organizer of a future fundraising or charity event to kind of help, because Smashers are broke, that's the meme, but try to encourage them a little bit more to like give them a reason to donate rather than just being like, hey, this is a free event. We're putting on a ton of great stuff for you. Please donate.
Well, I think we've done pretty well in the past with like Smash the Record, events like that. Like Smash the Record was kind of like half Smash, half speedrunning. And well, I think one thing that we could do is, and maybe this is too difficult to do, but like imagine, I think all the content during Genesis was basically like it was gonna happen regardless. Like there weren't really donation goals. Like it was just like, okay, we're raising money, and then these are the events. But like I don't know. Okay, imagine like Left and Zane doesn't happen unless we hit a certain amount. I don't know. Now maybe that's a little much to like be like, yo, Leffen, you might not even play Zane. I don't know. Maybe that's tough, but I'm sure there's some kind of way to do it with like some kind of unlockable incentives or something. Summit always does like with their compendiums, it'll be like, yo, Leffen washes a dog, and that's if we get this amount of like sales or whatever. So if there was some way to do unlockable content, I'm sure that would motivate people. Because what I noticed about Genesis is a lot of people donated a lot right at the beginning. Like right at the beginning of the weekend, or not even the weekend, I guess it was Thursday. But then towards the middle, people weren't really donating that much. And then I was kind of thinking like, okay, the way these sorts of things usually go is that by the end, like, especially like when the viewership is at its highest or something, usually the commentators or whatever will like plug like, yo, like, this is ending soon. Like, make sure you get your donations in. Like, if everyone gives $1 right now, like, we're going to, it's going to go up like this huge amount. And I think the problem with Genesis also was that, like, it just kind of transitioned into LSCS, and Ludwig didn't have, he wasn't doing the Genesis donations on his stream. I mean, he did like retweets and stuff, but like, I almost feel like for some people, they kind of forgot Genesis was ending, because usually you do see a big spike in donations towards the end. But people were kind of like, oh, the bracket started. I guess I'll go watch like Ludwig's stream, and you go over to Ludwig's stream, and he's not really taking donations over there, and then you kind of forget. And I almost wonder if people like didn't realize Genesis was only going to go up till Saturday, like midday Saturday, and it wasn't actually going to go into Sunday. So yeah, again, I think you usually do tend to see a big spike in donations towards the end. At least that's how I've kind of seen it when I've done these sorts of donation drives in the past. And we were, unfortunately, I think because of the schedule and because of the overlap with Ludwig's stream, I think we could have probably gotten Ludwig on board. That would have been one thing we could have done. I suspect just either nobody talked to him about it, or I don't know, or he didn't want to do it or something. I have no idea. But I think it's just harder when there's like 2 conflicting streams, when it's like, oh, we got the BTS Smash stream, which is taking donations, but then you got like Ludwig's, which isn't, and they're happening at the same time. I think that's why that happens. Yeah, I would basically say number 1, unlockable incentives, and number 2, scheduling, and those are probably the 2 main mistakes, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah, I agree with Toph. I also think the one thing with Genesis in particular, which honestly is props to them, but it does kind of hurt kind of the like it makes it harder to do that kind of stuff is the fact that they had to do it so last minute.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
like Genesis got canceled, like, or I guess rescheduled, like how long ago? Like a couple weeks ago, and they had to just immediately hop
Right.
on board and try to plan it. And it
Right.
would be hard to have the content waiting for like to do an unlockable thing. You still need like a baseline there that you're gonna
Right.
do, right? And it'd be hard to like have that kind of baseline and then also be like, okay, if we hit this goal, like we're gonna do this thing. Because like otherwise, like you can't just like I don't know. It's hard to you need like a big thing of content, and that's kind of the I think the thing that AGDQ and like the speedrunning events do it like it's like planned for the year and it's not like a last minute kind of effort, which again it's props to the Genesis team because it had to be last minute and they did something great. But I
Yeah.
think it's like it's also just one of the things that probably held it back the tiniest bit in terms of that, just because like just the nature of it. It's just hard to plan something that big in such a little time, which I think they did a great job doing. But
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. To kind of go a little bit of a different direction with this, to give just some ideas, I think this is something that I think, I've kind of wanted to happen a little more ever since I joined Golden Guardians, was just have a stream of the four of us doing something. And I think having that as an unlockable thing, whether it's we do some content live, we play a game or something live, we do something like that live. We're already coming up with content ideas anyway. We already have a backlog of ideas anyway. We could just use them. We could just use them as part of that. And then we can go for a good cause. And so it's like our streams can benefit. Everyone can win from that. And so I like that idea. And then piggybacking off of that, we could get Among Us isn't popular now, but whatever group
Among
game
Us.
is. I know Monkey.
Sus,
Monkey.
dude.
Right. Moky Sussy's in the chat. I
Sus.
know you guys got him. But
Yes, we
you
should
could
have played
have-
Among Us.
you could have, or
It would have been at
you
least
could have
$10,000
you
more
could have
dollars.
dropped a bunch of top melee players into a custom Fortnite lobby and had memes, right? Then you could have watched everyone's perspective, whatever, right? Like you could find a way to get these people to come together and do something they wouldn't normally do. Again, the streams benefit. People will sub to the streams because it's a unique event. People are going to watch and they're going to be like, oh, this is only going to happen, or they'll play this other game otherwise, or whatever, right? And so I think that's something. It's kind of like piggybacking off the Summit idea, where like we're gonna campaign, and if we get in, we're gonna do all this stuff. It's kind of like that, and I think people really like that kind of stuff. So we can use the same types of ideas, and we can also benefit the people in the process. So I think that could be something that's kind of a win for everyone that I like.
Yeah, I'm into that. Also, dude, do you guys feel like, I don't know, there's like less of a like, did we do a good enough point to like the average viewer, like emphasizing like how devastating it is when like a tournament? Because I still see people on Twitter who like don't, or Reddit, like who don't understand how much money a tournament organizer stands to lose if a tournament event gets canceled. Like, I wonder if there are people that are like, oh, why are they raising money for Genesis? Like, isn't Genesis going to happen anyway in April? Like, what's the big deal? Like, I don't know. I wonder if we should have done. I wonder if we could have done a better job, like really emphasizing that. I have no idea. I have no idea.
Yeah, maybe. I guess that's something that, especially for like a big event that we did put on together, like we did have everyone Mungy Sussy together, and then like in the middle of that or between like a game or something, we just have the players. All right, stop saying that you all suck at the game and trash talking each other, and tell everyone why we're actually doing this. And sometimes if Mango or Moky or someone says it, then people will listen to it differently than if if anyone else says it. So I think we can leverage the star power as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I wish I had more to add. I completely agree.
Yeah,
Well,
thank
I was
you,
just
Luke.
gonna bring up to Toe's point, at least from like, because I just started playing like since Slippy came out. That's when I started taking the game seriously. So from my perspective, it's kind of like 50-50 in terms of the people who do know and the people who don't know, like how much of a loss it really was to postpone Genesis.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I scroll through Twitter and there's just a bunch of comments about like people who don't understand. And I guess I just, if it's okay, if I still have time, I just wanted to quickly throw out two ideas just to like throw it out in the
Sure.
atmosphere, because I really liked PP's idea of like that you have a backlog that you could just see what works, see what's what's fun and stuff like that. I think the low hanging fruit would be just like something like a controller raffle, which again, like
Sure.
Viewers can donate like $20 minimum, and they'll enter a raffle, and they could get a really souped up controller, which would be pretty sick. And
We have
hella
art
people will enter
too.
that.
We have art. You have a lot of talented artists in the community. I think
Yeah.
the prizes on Price is Right for the GG channel. I think people really thought that was cool, and so we could leverage community artists for that
Yeah.
too. Have people raffle on
Even
that.
like coaching and stuff probably too.
Oh, yeah?
Just
Yeah.
all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. Yeah.
Kind of on that note, the second idea was like money matches, like money match with the pro, like $5 for best of one, $10. If you win, you get like a small signed prize, and then all the earnings from that could either go to donation. Maybe the pro player gets a small cut of it, but the majority of it would go into the donation pool and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
but yeah, that was basically it for me.
Yeah, good
Thank
idea.
you guys for talking with me.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
we'll definitely have to
for
pass
sure.
some of these ideas to the team the next time they run one of these things.
For sure, man. And you got any shout outs for us on your way out today?
Yeah, I have a small list, but I'll try to run through it as fast as I can. Shout outs to my college roommate Sean, who had Brawl and PM set up and basically helped me get into the competitive scene. KQ, Mark, and Jason are my 3 IRL homies who still play Melee with me. And special shout out to KQ because he helped pay for my box as a birthday gift, and I use a box now, so like really big shout outs to him. To the Riverside and USC scenes, they're the 2 locals that I've gone to. Really good vibes all around when I go there. And everybody who's been watching and following the competitive scene for a long time, but either hasn't competed or like they want to compete and just haven't done it. Like I think I mentioned before, I was watching tourney streams since like 2012, 2013, and didn't take the game seriously until Slippy. So highly encourage y'all to pick up the sticks and try it out for yourself. And if not, then like thanks for being a fan, right?
Nice.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, good shout outs, and thank you for calling in, Woosh.
Thank you. Have a good day.
See ya.
Have a good day. About ready for our next caller.
Mr. Batboy 27.
Mr. Batboy 27.
The 27th. What's up?
So,
What's up?
Where are you calling in from, Mr. Batboy 27?
I'm from Southern California, and
Alright.
my question / topic for you guys today is: when and if offline melee returns, what do you think the status of online melee will change to and or develop into? Especially with Slippy ranked on its way, do you think the online community will be divided away into its off-record community, similar to Anther's Ladder, or will it be an integral part in the game, even affecting placements in offline tournaments and majors like it is now?
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
a classic one, right? I mean, we were
Classic
talking
one.
about
Yeah.
this. We were talking about this when it seemed like offline was going to come back, and now
Yeah.
kind of going the other way again, right? So,
But now we've got like a new perspective on it because this kind of already did happen once. And I almost want to treat that as a cautionary tale in the sense that I don't think online tournaments should ever go away. And like I don't think we need online majors per se at the highest level. Like I think that if people are always going to care about offline results more, and because people care about offline results more, like it's going to feel more legit. At the end of the day, that's what the top players are going to go to test themselves and to test each other. But I do think for the people who are on the grind, there's always going to be value in having like online weeklies. And I do think that like there's always going to be a subset of people, like even if it's like there's always going to be a subset of even like I would say pretty strong players that are always going to be entering online tournaments, whether it's for content, someone like HBox, or just like people who want to improve as quickly as possible, who want to be able to have that like, you know, that sense of testing themselves. And I think that like I don't know, I was kind of worried because like when offline tournaments were coming back, like everyone kind of stopped like entering or caring about online tournaments for a little while. And I was like, man, I hope they don't like go away. Like I feel like that'd be really sad because ultimately at the end of the day, they are really good for like for content and for practice. And I think they're fun to watch. I think people's streams are a lot more fun to watch when they're in like doing some tournament run. And you're not going to have that if there's purely like if there's no online tournaments really. Then you just have to watch local streams, you know? That's like kind of all there is. And I don't know that most local streams are like as poppin'. You know, there's obviously there's the nightclub in New York, NYC Melee, they get good viewership. There's Verdugo. But I can't name that many like offline locals that have like really consistent, solid viewership. And I feel like online tournaments are really good for that.
So Mr.
so
Batboy
yeah.
also brought up ranked. Do you think ranked would change people's opinion about this, Toph?
I don't know how that's going to play out. I mean, tournaments are always going to feel a little bit more legit than like just a ladder. Like you can always make a argument at the end of the day. Like if you're playing like a ladder match, it's always like, it's always just like, dude, it's just, like think about like any other game that has like, MMR and games that have ranked. It's like a ranked game at the end of the day. Like when it first comes out, obviously like it's going to be like, it's going to be amazing. But I think as like people settle into playing it more and more, like there will still be a draw that people will, ultimately want to go to tournaments to like prove themselves. I think ranked is going to be the way you level up, and then there's going to be like a pipeline from like ranked, or I would even start with like unranked to ranked to online tournaments, and then eventually to offline tournaments, where like the further you go down that pipeline, like I feel like people take the results of the sets more and more seriously, use it for rankings. So I think it'll kind of tie into the ecosystem. I don't really think the online community is going to be divided away. Like I would hope that all of the online monsters eventually come out to tournaments. I think that should be the end goal. But I guess some people won't. Like some people won't have the means to. And that's fine. But if we can even capture some of those people, I think that'd be really good.
Yeah. What do you think, Moky?
I agree. I think like based on what most of the top players say, like I think when online or offline comes back, they'll mostly like in terms of proving themselves and in terms of like the highest level of competition, like that will be obviously the main kind of form. But I agree with Toph. I think that online is very important as like a viewer. Even I think to touch on Toph's point, I think viewing off online tournaments, this might be a hot take, it's sometimes more fun than viewing offline tournaments because you can watch every set because everyone's streaming everything. You can just kind of go back and forth, and that's like, I don't know. I think it's a very enjoyable thing that I hope doesn't completely go away. I think like I could see a lot of the like top 10-ish people not going as much or entering as much online, but yeah, I think for sure for like weeklies and even like smaller majors and stuff, like I hope it sticks around, and I'm sure that some people will keep entering. Like even during the when offline was coming back, kind of like there's still people grinding like Aklo and like Swift, and like a lot of people were still just entering online stuff to enter it and get practice and compete. So I think it'll hopefully stay around at least to an extent, right?
That's how I feel. Yeah, and that's what I kind of hope. That's what I was saying, man. I think people are gonna miss if online tournaments go away. People are gonna miss it. Like people are gonna realize how good we had it. Just like the whole concept of like someone doing really good at the online tournament, and then like everyone like goes to their chat, gives a bunch of subs, have a little celebration stream. Like those are cool. Like Mango stream, like after LACS was like pretty poppin'. Obviously Zane's too, and Zane get HBox every single weekend, win or lose. It seems like, and there's like this whole like culture, Mokies as well. Yeah, definitely. So there's this whole culture around it now, and I think like I don't know. I think it's fun, and I think people shouldn't forget about that. I don't think it should go away. Obviously, online tournaments. I mean, offline is always going to be like I'm going to have a special place for it. That's where I want everybody to end up. But I don't think the online tournaments should go away, especially because you don't have offline tournaments every week, but you can realistically have online tournaments every week. So that's something.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking now about the phenomenon of not having those online when we were switching more to offline. I wonder if it's one of those things where we just tried to get as much offline in as we could. We kind of forgot about it. I don't know. I kind of wonder if, we are in a scenario where we know that we're going to have offline. If we truly move away from online, I'd be surprised, especially after ranked out and so many people are exposed to the game through that way. But
right,
even if that is the case, even if we have ranked, but there's not many online tournaments, I think there will be for other places that especially aren't NA, not North America, and these places are going to have so much that they're going to be able to build their scenes. We've already seen so much of that happen already, right? World Tour showed that there are so many places that have benefited greatly from Slippy and had talent before that can prove more of it now and can show that offline. So I think regardless, I think it's still we're gonna still see online really helpful for the international scene, and whether however it integrates with NA, I'm not sure, but yeah, it's still going to be useful for bringing people in, going through the pipeline, and yeah, the entertainment factor I think that you guys brought up is a really good point I hadn't considered as well, so that's really cool. I think that's about all we got for you, Mr. Batboy.
Yeah, what do you think, Bad Boy? You have anything to add to that?
I personally think that the online melee might begin to take its own storyline separate to offline, very similar to like the Super Smash Flash 2 community, where it has its own set of amazing players that all fight for the number one in the Slippy ladder once rank comes out. While offline kind of runs parallel to it as well, but not mix as much or have much effect on it. But just a quick follow up question on the, I asked what you guys think uh, Slippy or online will have on the melee community. I want to see your guys' thoughts on what you want it, online melee to represent in the community. Just without having to do ifs or ands or buts. Just what do you want online melee to be?
I guess what I want online to be more than anything else is, I mean, I kind of view it as I don't know. I mean, marketing tool isn't quite the right word. Acquisition tool is maybe closer. I want it to be a way to bring people in. Hey, look, you don't have to leave your house. Whatever, man. The gamers are weird. They all smell, right? That's the stereotype. Just get online. Don't worry about it. I think it's fine. I like how we could encourage people in that way and get people in, and you could find a match on Unranked in 10 seconds or whatever. I think that's good. I think that is the most powerful part of it, and I think we could probably tap into that more. Maybe, I don't know how it could work. There are all kinds of things we could do. We could give sign-up bonuses of some kind if we had stuff that integrated with Slippy. I don't know if that's cosmetics or whatever, but there'd be all kinds of cool things that we could do to incentivize people to participate. And if you referred someone, then you can get something, whatever, right? Like there's all kinds of things that we could tap into that further. And I think that's the strength of Slippy, strength of online, the accessibility. And so the more we can play that up, I think that would just make me happier. And I don't know if I have a complete vision for it, but just thinking about it now, those are some quick ideas.
Yeah, I think I agree with that as well. I think it's a good segue to get people in because you don't need to get like a 20-year-old console or whatever. You can just use your computer, get it and play.
Yeah.
And I also I don't know. I think it's like the most convenient way to, as a top player, it's the most convenient way to practice. Like I don't need to leave my house to do stuff. I can like stream it. It's like really good for content because you can do a bunch of like show matches and a bunch of stuff like that while just doing online. You don't have to get people from all over the world in a place. You can just, connect and play and do stuff. And I think, yeah, I don't know, just the best way to practice right now. It also it's a sick segue, and that's, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think we can use it like that, and it's a very good use of it.
Yeah, for sure. You got anything to add to that, Toph?
No, I agree with that. I mean, the only thing is, what do I want online to be? I don't want it to be toxic. I think
Too bad.
that's the one fear is that, I don't know. Sometimes I was talking to my boy Noah, Ben SW's brother, aka Noah SW, and he was like, because he's pretty low level. He started playing Melee pretty recently, and he was like, man, people are so mean to me on Unranked. Like people, as soon as they realize, he was saying like, as soon as they realize they're better than you, like people like, he feels like everyone's trying to BM him nonstop. Like he feels like most games people are trying to BM him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, I hope that with ranked, people take it a little more seriously and they don't. Because, like, I remember Smash Ladder, like, most people on Smash Ladder, like, because you would play 3 out of 5s if you're doing Smash Ladder ranked. They were usually 3 out of 5s, or 2 out of 3s, sorry. Yeah. And, people like, people usually were pretty, I would say pretty reasonable, most people. And I wonder if there's something about the fact that unranked it's like so easy to just quit out and find a new opponent that that kind of lends to that culture of people being a little more BM. Well, like it's just like, well, I can just quit out on you, get another match.
I think the Smash Ladder chat was pretty toxic from what I heard, so I don't know if it's a whole lot better.
Well, it could get toxic, but I would say that most people weren't toxic. Whereas on unranked, I feel like sometimes you have sessions where you get like 3 or 4 toxic people in a row. I feel like that's pretty rare on Smash Ladder. You get like one person out of like, I don't know, 7 or 8 that are like, lol, you camp all day, blah, 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 whatever. But you can definitely have sessions on Slippy on Unranked where it's just like, people just keep quitting out or whatever and they just like spam lol. And I'm hoping the fact that there's actually a little bit of an incentive, like if you just rage quit on somebody in Slippy ranked, I'm assuming you get penalized for that. So I'm kind of hoping that fact will sort of help, but we'll see how it shakes out. PSA to all of you at home when Slippy rank comes out, please try to be nice, especially to people who you consider are worse than you, because these are people that you might have to run into in an offline tournament one day, and they might remember that you're mean to them, and then they might deck you in the face.
Which is why you need to use an alternate name. Bat Boy,
That's right.
What's up? I hope we got your questions answered. You got any shout outs for us on your way out today?
Shout out to Golden Guardians.
Heck
Yep.
yeah.
Appreciate that.
Thank you for calling in. Have a good one.
Have a good day.
See
That's
ya.
right.
And now we've got ETOS coming in. The Melee Stats man been giving us the maps.
The cartographer.
Yes.
sure. Well, first question, I got a question. Moky, you're known for your flashy fox playstyle. Who are some of your inspirations in terms of playstyle? And is there any combo you haven't pulled off in tournament that you still want to? Also, can you elaborate on your feelings on maps, Moky, please? I would love to know more.
Okay,
Nice.
so E-Tossed every single day I'll be streaming. And he'll
Yeah.
come in my chat and he'll be like,
Yeah.
yo, check out this map. And I'm like, dude,
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
check out your map.
Yeah, I've seen him. Yeah. He loves showing off his maps. He does. He wants us to look at his maps.
Oh my
I
god.
noticed.
You're tired
Yeah.
of maps, huh? Does he think he has a problem? Do you think he's addicted to maps, Moky?
I think so,
Does
yeah.
he need help?
Be quiet,
think
Beefy.
so.
You can't tell him that.
Okay, the last one wasn't that bad. The last map was okay.
Oh, okay. Well, they're growing on you a little bit, sounds
Yeah,
like.
I'm making progress here. It's good to
Just,
good now.
just keep showing him maps. He'll start to
Yeah.
like it eventually. That's what it sounds like.
But what was the first half? It was like so Foss
Like, who are your inspirations in terms of play style? You're known for being super flashy, and is there like any combo you haven't pulled off yet in tournament that you still want to?
Okay, so I used to, when I was first getting good, I actually main Falcon first, and I was the biggest Hacks fanboy. I
shit.
loved Hacks, yeah. So I actually did this switch. I played Pink Falcon into Blue Fox. And
Oh,
I
wow.
was I was like 13 or 4. I don't know, I was like 14 when I started playing. So I was like a super Hacks fanboy, and I was just like, dude, this guy just like multi-shines and stuff. That's fucking crazy. Like, so I actually have a cringe message to Hacks from when I was like 14. And I asked him, I was like, yo, what was your do you have like a practice routine or something? Like, like what do you like how do you get all this stuff down? And then he just said, I think he just said like grind blip or something. I was like, okay, cool, that helps. But yeah, no, I probably I like Hacks when I was getting good, and then just Leffen, man. Leffen's crazy. Like, it just watching Leffen's Fox is nuts. And then I think now if I see something good, I'm like, that's crazy. Like, it's just I like just bits and pieces. I'm like, if someone does something insane, I'm like, that's sick as hell.
Yeah.
So, I don't think there's like anyone super specific, but like, yeah, I just like watching people do stuff I guess I haven't thought of or seen. And I do have a dream combo, but it's not even one I want to land in tournament. It's I've got two actually. I've got two answers. So my dream combo is to hit a nasty combo where like against a Spacey you can up throw shine back air when you're grounded.
Yeah.
You can, like, up throw shine back air, and then I read their double jump and I up air, and I like take their jump after that.
Oh, that's cool.
And I've hit it a bunch, but I always like mess up the ending. And
you wanna
I-
Oh, like what comes after it? Yeah, because you want to finish it.
yeah,
You want to get a combo that starts with that, but then like finish it in a way that you could actually be proud of.
yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
you can't just double shine him after that, like shine him and then shine him again. You want to
Yeah,
do some crazy
yeah.
stuff, right?
It's like I've gotten so close. I'll hit some nut stuff, and then I like hit them the other way with my up smash. I'm like, wow, this sucks. I'm so sad.
Yeah.
And then another combo I want to hit is I want to hit a combo where I like a scar jump shine turnaround back air, because I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Oh, and the shine and the back air both hit.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
not just the back air, because sometimes you like use you do the scar jump and use the shine to turn around to set up for a back air, but you're
Yeah.
saying the shine and the back air both. Yeah, that would be nuts.
That'd be
I
cool.
wanna-
I haven't
yeah.
seen that.
I haven't seen. I'm like, it has to work, right? I imagine.
Yeah, no reason why it wouldn't.
It's just
No reason why it wouldn't. Usually,
I
like,
don't know when you do it, but
Yeah.
I think it would work.
I almost wonder if the reason it's hard to get is because usually for those like shine turnaround back air, you kind of need the opponent to DI in a little bit on your shine to like
Yeah.
link the back air. And then people are always so surprised when you go for a scar jump shine that they might not even be ready to DI it good. So you probably have to be playing someone who's already like pretty good, who knows you're going to go for it in the first place.
Yeah. And then it's just a weird thing. Like, do you have to like edge guard them? Like, you can't do it against Fox because like if he's up bean, it's not gonna work, right? It's just weird. I don't really know. But I've thought of that for years. I'm like, I want to hit this, but I don't think I've ever gone for it since I even hit it, or ever since I thought of it. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know when to go
Just
for
play
it.
against Wizzy, man. He'll do some weird SDI and it'll work out for you.
Okay, catch me in my next set against Wizzy. I'll just
Yeah.
damn it.
That'd be
In a
awesome.
weird way.
That would be beautiful, man.
So you switched to, let me get this straight. You switched to Fox pretty much like after Hack switched to Fox? Or before?
When I got into Melee, I think he had already switched.
Oh.
But I was playing Falcon and I would watch like his old VODs. Because I was like, dude, I would literally just grind. Because I was like 14. I couldn't really go to tournaments that much myself.
Yeah.
Because I lived like an hour out of Toronto and like whatever. It's kind of my dad doesn't want me to take transit to Toronto to meet up with a bunch of sweaty gamers, right? So like I I don't know. I would just like grind a bunch. I'd just grind tech chasing and hack stashing. I'd watch a bunch of Melee, and I loved watching hacks. And then I switched because since I was just home all the time, it's like, okay, I'm bored of fucking tech chasing all day. I'm gonna play Fox and Shine. So,
And so was the Fox inspired by Hax's switch, or you're just like, well, this is the character I can do the most grinding with, so here we go.
yeah, I just got bored because I was like, I couldn't play with people too much, so I would just
Yeah.
I would just do that. Yeah.
Yeah, he is the grind character for sure.
Falcon might be kind of hard to like feel like you're making progress with that character if you're not playing real people. I feel like a lot of Falcon, like you kind of need to be, especially back then, like you couldn't just Uncle Punch like I can imagine now, like you could use Uncle Punch to like practice your tech chasing, for example. But back then, like even to practice, like if you try to play the computer, they miss every tech. So it's like, well, like this is kind of worthless. Like I can't even practice. Whereas like practicing spacies, it feels like a little bit more meaningful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a different time back then.
It truly was. I think does that cover everything for ETOS? Does he have a follow up? Let's see.
No, not really. That's about it. I don't want to ask Moky about maps. It'll irritate him too much.
We got the maps covered. He loves them now. He's admitted it. And what are your shout outs for us, ETOS?
I got a few shout outs. Shout outs to my Minnesota boys, Emo, ATM, Sour Cream. Shout outs to L Fern in the GG Melee Discord because he wanted the shout out, so I'm giving him one. And shout out
Nice.
Maps.
Yeah, shout outs
And
to
that's
Maps.
about
it.
Oh, come on.
They're important, you know. You need them to like navigate,
Yeah.
to like get around.
Don't get lost. Thank you, ETOS.
Yep. Thank you guys. Have a
Thank you.
rest of-
Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to give a quick shout out to production too, because I don't know what happened. My camera always goes nuts when I do this stuff. It looked like I was like, tripping out. It was just.
It
so
looked
much fun.
cool as hell. I kind of liked it. I was
looking
hoping
at
they would
myself,
leave
I'm
it.
like, I was like, what? That happens like every time. I just go green. I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah, I thought it looked tight,
Yeah, it was.
but
pretty cool.
you know,
Yeah. Luckily saved. Luckily looking good regardless. We'll say that.
yeah.
And now we can bring in our next caller. Their name is Blind Spectacle, but I see SFAT in the profile picture. Wondering what's going on here.
Yeah, you know, what can I say? I'm a giant SFAT fan.
Love that for you.
Nice. I knew they had to be out there. No,
They're
just kidding.
actually ever since he beat Mango, I saw so many veggie memes. I think the fan
I think he stumbled upon his
he's got it. Trampoline.
He's really come into stride.
Everything. Yeah. SFAT gem if you feel it. So
That's right. What's your
Blind
question for us
Spectacle,
today?
Where are you calling in from? What's your question?
Or your hot take, if you want to deliver us a hot
I'm
take.
calling in from Columbia, Missouri,
Ooh.
and
Wow.
my question for Moky is: your Smash Wiki shows Yoshi as one of your secondaries. Do you have any plans to take Moshi seriously in the future? And do you think Yoshi has untapped potential as a character in general?
Yeah, I'll back this one up even by saying I've noticed a lot of your emotes are Yoshi themed. You know, like there's the Moky Nodders, And I was wondering the same thing.
Okay, so Blind is actually one of my mods. Yeah, and as Blind knows, so I actually hated playing Yoshi. I really did
too.
not
I
like
hate
playing the
playing Yoshi.
character. It was not fun at all. But
I
my
can't
chat
play that
loved it when I
character.
played Yoshi.
That's
So
exactly
they would
how I
harass
feel
me.
about it.
Can you do any Yoshi? Can you do the Yoshi stuff now? You
I
know,
can
like
parry, yeah. I can like parry. I can do like
Nice.
double jump stuff. My Yoshi,
I can't
honestly,
move around. Your
Okay,
Yoshi's
Zane
cracked.
doesn't want to. Zane does not want to admit it, but you know they weren't tournament sets. But don't test me as fallen victim to Moshi a couple times.
Oh no!
Oh wow.
So, yeah.
Did it take you a while? Because like, I think all of the members of Golden Guardians, we've tried to play Yoshi before, and I think we're all really bad at Yoshi. Like, none of us can deal with like not being able to jump out of shield. I don't think we really know how to like move around that well with that character. Right,
Yeah.
PP? Yoshi, I think, is collectively the worst character of the four
for all
Golden
of
Guardians.
us, and that's
None of us have a good Yoshi.
It's only because none hasn't gotten bored enough with unranked yet, but that'll happen someday.
Yeah.
It took me. The thing is, it's because I've always known how Yoshi stuff works. Because my brother played Yoshi, and now one of my best friends, Matt or Mono, he is also a Yoshi. So I try to get away from playing this stupid dinosaur, and he just follows me everywhere I go, and I'm forced to play him. Everyone in my life just plays fucking Yoshi. So
maps of a character. I see.
Yeah.
Does Blind Spectacle play Yoshi?
No, I don't think so. Blind. Tell him who you mean.
No,
Who do you
no,
mean?
I don't play Yoshi. I play Ices.
Okay.
That's not like Yoshi at all.
No.
Well,
I tried to get there, but I couldn't get there.
there's similar spots on the tier list, kind of.
Yeah.
They're like both mid-tier.
Yeah. They're both characters, and I love them for that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
well, actually, Ice Climbers is two characters.
Yeah, all three of them are characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
That's
no plans to use
I'll learn them one day.
No plans to use Moshi for counter picks, huh?
Oh no.
No.
Never.
Would you ever counterpick a character besides Fox in tournament? Could you ever see that happening, or do you think your Fox is too much better than your other characters to really justify it?
I have done it once in my life.
Oh, who was it? Which character?
I guess other than Falcon, because it was like when I was switching, I did it. I don't really count that. It's like whatever. I was playing at a Chicago tournament once called Hold That L, and I was playing Rick, and Rick had just switched to Falco, and I was having a lot of trouble. Falco's really good, so I was losing, and I was like, okay, you know what? Screw this. I'm going FD Marth, and I went FD Marth, and it worked.
Oh, it worked.
It did.
Sometimes
yeah,
you got to do it to him.
Nice.
Yeah. And I also Kirby Kaze actually on. Funnily enough, that this is the question as well, because Blind is an Ices player. I actually used to play Ices a bit because I would play Fork all the time. So we would do like reverse mains and stuff. And I think my Ices are pretty good. But I entered a tournament once and I did pretty good at it, like a weekly. And Kirby Kaze was trying to get me to actually pick up Ice Climbers as a counter pick against Marth. And I was like, I'm sorry.
Wow.
David. I'm sorry, David. You're the homie, but I don't know. That doesn't sound like much of an improvement in terms of matchup.
It's not. I think it's worse.
Oh, that guy's funny.
I think it's worse. Did we used to think as a community that Ices could get it done against Marth back in the day? We didn't think that ever, did we?
There was a weird time where people kind of thought that. I think that was a few years ago. Yeah.
Dude, M2K's results had such strong opinions on people. Like M2K would go peach for Ices, and people like, well, I guess Marth can't do it at a high level because look at M2K is the best Marth. It's like, dude.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny.
Does Moshi make it to the 5-character Iron Man? Last Moshi question. I'm really trying to make some value out of this.
No.
He
does not. No. I'm trying to.
Who's in the 5 characters?
So Fox, obviously. Let me say without Fox. Let's say Fox is
okay. Okay.
It would be like Falco, Marth, Peach, Falcon, Ices, I think. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So
Falco, Marth.
Moshi just not getting it done. I'm gonna be honest with you, Blind Spectacle. I tried to get
But your
you
ices
value.
are nuts. Your ices are nuts.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Sometimes it's hard now because I used to wobble people when I would play my ices because I was like, yeah, I'm trying to win. But
Yeah,
now I
yeah.
can't do that.
Yeah.
So
But that's
Yeah,
still
it's
better than
true.
your Yoshi.
yeah, I mean I could do it, I guess technically, but it.
Yeah. Well, could you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not playing them in tournament. I could.
Yeah,
I could
it's
just say,
true.
you know
Not
what?
playing
Let
it.
me just.
Yeah, outside of tournament, anything goes, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's no TO. There's no TO without the T. There needs to be a tournament before there's a TO.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it, Blind Spectacle. Moshi kind of struggling, but you know, it's beating down Test Me, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That matchup is probably also like
Yeah.
steaming horse shit, but you know, whatever.
You know,
It's fine.
DTM
It's still
has some wins.
yeah, it's still a good Roy. It's the best
Yeah.
Roy. So
Yeah.
you'll take what you can get.
All right.
Yeah. No, Moshi likes winning because he's not used to it.
We take those.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still
Uh,
fresh. It's fresh and novel for him.
All right, Blind Spectacle, you got any shout outs for us today on your way out?
Yeah, I got two. First, shout outs to Psycho Melody, Samus player from Sacramento. He's the one who got me into the game. And I can't thank him enough for it. I've really found a home in this community. The other shout out that I wanted to make was to Zamu, who got ranked in the top 30, unsponsored. Really funny, awesome guy, and if you're a sponsor listening, you should totally sponsor Zamu because he's the boy.
Word.
Mm.
Sponsors pass it on.
Is that what it is? Is it top 30? It's 30 people on there? I wasn't sure how many people they put on there.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Well,
Not
I
sure.
trust Blind Spectacle's word.
Yeah. I also vouch for Zamu as well. I love Zamu. He's
Yeah,
really
Zamu's cool.
Yeah.
Zamu's cool people.
Well, good shout outs, and thank you for calling in, Blind Spectacle.
Yep. So,
Alright.
do we have any more?
No more callers.
More
That's
callers
our last
today?
one.
Is that our last one?
That's our last
Okay.
one. And so,
Amazing.
yeah, we've our schedule was a little bit weird today, but let's see if I have anything I really want to ask Moky pretty quick before I hand it over to his community voice. Yeah, I'll just ask you the shorter one. You can talk
Okay.
about this as much or as little as you want, but
Okay.
yeah, I mean, so we've had you on before, and then we're talking about rankings and everything. So really quickly, however much time you want to spend on it, what are your goals, maybe for this year or for your career now that we're having you back? Is there a certain placing you want, a certain ranking you want? Do you have any goals for content creation? Is there something certain level of consistency you want with Fox? Anything like that? You know, is there anything you're looking for right now?
I think with Melee, especially in my spot right now where it's like I either am able to go to stuff or not. I've had like my career the last couple of years has been really weird where it's like
Yeah.
I either am able to go to stuff or I can't for like pretty long periods of time.
Mm.
As long as I'm able to go to stuff, I really do want to try to win like a major, and I think I can, especially if
Okay.
I put some effort in.
Yeah.
But my biggest goal at the moment in Melee, I think, is doing like content-y stuff, which I think I've gotten a lot better at, but a long way to go. Before I actually hopped on here, I was trying to because we're trying to focus on doing more YouTube stuff, me
Yeah.
and my editor, which is hard because talking to a camera when there's not chat, I'm like,
It's
I just
weird.
feel like a doofus. I feel
It's
stupid.
weird.
I'm like, I'm like, because the thing with chat, if I say something, I can at least have like, I
Someone
know that
reacts.
people are there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Instead, it's like, okay, my roommates has heard me try to say this like 5 times in a row, and I
Yeah.
butchered it every time.
Yeah.
And and it's so I'm trying to get better at like that kind of side of content stuff. Like planning scripts and like just sticking to them and like actually planning a video that's like a video, and not just like a stream highlight thing, even if it uses stuff in a stream highlight. And
Yeah.
that's kind of
Do
my
you
goal.
have
I just
any
want to be able to
goals
make.
for like subscriber counts? We're talking about YouTube here.
Not super. No, I just want to I just want to try to push it. Try to grow it as much as I can and
Make stuff you're proud of.
get better. Yeah, because we actually the last video we put out, I think we have still quite a bit of ways to go, but it was like an adventure mode thing. Where I don't. Yeah, you did it, PP. Remember when everyone was playing adventure mode?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I sucked at that, I was the first guy to start doing it, and I was the last one to beat it.
Yeah, okay,
So,
you
like,
did beat it. That was good. I was a little worried
yo,
about some of the people
thankfully.
working on
Yeah.
it. Good
No,
stuff.
thankfully. It took me a week, man.
Hey, there it is.
But we did a video on that, and like since it took me a week, we did like a script and like I narrated it, whatever. And there's like
that's cool.
yeah, so there's like there's still a long way to go because I could have done a better job with the narrative because it's my first time doing it. And
Yeah,
there's a few little things, but for our first time doing that kind of thing, I'm really happy with it, and I want to try to just get better at doing that kind of stuff because I really enjoy doing that stuff, and I want to push it a lot, especially because like I think it's a good way to like build up stuff for like eventually down the line when Melee, like I'm done doing Melee stuff. Like if I can get better at that kind of stuff and kind of build it up as a whole, then you know I feel
lets you transition to other things. Yeah.
So that's kind of like my my goal. And when I am in tournament mode, like I have stuff for sure, like I'm going to this tournament, then I want to focus super hard on that and try to my best to win stuff and do well. But in the weird point where we're at right now, where it's like there's like some stuff and like sometimes not, like I'm trying to really push in
something that's consistent that you can control is the content. That makes sense.
Yeah, and I've been enjoying getting better at that because it's a very new thing, and it's just there's a lot of ways to improve, and it's honestly a less stressful thing to improve at.
Yes,
Melee.
Yes.
So it's a fun process because I feel like it's more relaxing, but also it's still beneficial. And,
yeah.
Good, so
well, that's awesome.
It's more of a battle with yourself than a battle with other players, where there has to be a winner and a loser, right? Like,
well, there's also not a ton of people judging you no matter what happens.
Right.
It's really important.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they are, but in a different way, obviously.
Yeah, I don't think it's as nearly as harsh as
Yeah.
But so you're talking about YouTube. Go ahead and let us know where they can find you. Let's get you a little plug going here.
So just youtube.com. I think we switched it to just /Moky.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we've gone through a couple
MOKY.
Yeah.
I can verify that right now.
He's
verifying. God, I typed it. Oh shit.
Yeah, because it's gone through a couple name switches. I think it's one of the YouTubes I've had since I was like young, so it's some really dumb thing before, and then we switch it around, and then
nice.
So I think
it shines
now. I'm pretty sure.
Well, you can definitely search for Moky to get to Moky's YouTube.
YouTube.com/Moky, or just search it. You'll get there. He's working on it. Okay, he's putting a lot into it. Go check him out.
Oh, it's /Moky Doki.
Oh, okay, that's not bad. That's like
that's
some of the name of my other stuff, I guess.
There you go.
Yeah.
The cross pollination.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all we're going to ask you today. Outside of the community voice, it is now your time to ask a question, Moky.
Any question to our viewers on YouTube and to all of the people down below in the comment sections. To everyone watching on YouTube, you get to answer whatever question Moky poses to you right now.
Okay. So I didn't know exactly what to ask, but I got inspired earlier in in this. We were talking about Among Us.
Yeah.
And I think that's like it's hard not to be inspired, right?
Yeah, everyone loves Among Us.
So I think who would be the best Amogus player?
Oh my god!
Oh, out of all the Melee players,
like Melee players, figures, just in general. Like who would be like the nastiest? Yeah, who would be the nastiest Amogus player? Who would be the sussiest?
The sussiest. That's is that different than the best, or is that
actually like technically it's kind of like the worst?
They go hand in hand. Oh,
I guess, they're linked up,
but whatever. I get it. It's more about the feel than anything else.
Yeah.
Ideally, sometimes you don't want to be sussy. Because you want to fly under the radar, but I know what you're saying. Yeah. The best Amogus player.
Yeah. I mean, immediately I think about None. He's just a hard guy to read.
None would be good.
And I think he knows how to make plays when he wants to make plays. I think he gets Zane killed every round, and he thinks it's very funny. I like that a lot. Obviously, I think Mango would be really good. I mean, we've seen it in Mafia. I can't imagine.
I played Among Us with Mango. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I would expect. Those are my two.
I actually really do miss Among Us. I was thinking about how much I wanted him.
It is.
I was like, I actually kind of miss when I could, play Among Us with some friends. I don't know that anyone plays Among Us these days, so I don't know if I.
It's still. I mean, it's still alive. It's I mean, we could.
Is it?
It's still. You could still boot it up anyway.
You can boot it up. Yeah, the servers are there.
Yeah, Moky, do you have a pick? Is there anyone that you feel? Do you feel it's yourself? That's totally valid.
No,
Yeah.
I retired from Among Us.
As did a lot of
tragic-
people.
Did something
No, I
tragic
went
happen?
I went through a lot. Yeah, it was bad. Yeah.
Oh no!
Um,
All right,
yeah,
we won't bring that
I'd
up.
rather not
Then.
talk about it.
Okay, yeah, no talk about it. Don't
Yeah,
ask.
Mhm.
but I don't know. I have no idea. I feel like I guess like the Mafia games are a pretty good indicator at Summit, probably.
Yeah, I think there's some carryover, but I think there's some extra stuff because you can't see people's faces. You could probably it taps into some different skills, right? Because you're
Yeah.
also moving around, so
You're moving around. It's a
it is
video
little-
game.
it
There's a
is
map.
different.
You know,
It is a little different.
you gotta do the little mini games. You gotta do the credit card. You gotta swipe
Yeah.
the fucking credit card, right?
Yeah, that's true.
You don't have to do that in Mafia. They don't ever bring out a thing and you have to swipe your
Yeah,
credit card.
no, the thing that's so different is in
Mafia.
your Mafia, you're just sitting there, but you get to
Yeah.
there's more information in Among Us in terms of everyone moving.
Yeah, there's
around.
more information. There's
So
some
that's
people.
interesting.
There's actually people who are really bad at lying, but they're really good at Among Us because they just know the maps
Yeah.
really well and they know how to kill people without getting caught. And you don't ever have to lie if no one ever even susses you out. So
Yeah.
it's deep, man. Among Us is super deep.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I cut you off, Moky. But was there anyone that you were thinking about? It's fine if not, but I just thought I'd ask.
I don't know. Like there's like a few people I'm like they might be good, but I could also see them being really bad. That's the thing.
Sure.
Like,
Sure.
all the people in my head, I'm like this
Well, who
guy.
are you
could be
thinking
really
about?
good.
Name one of them. Yeah.
Like I'm thinking like none could be really good, but I
Yeah.
could also see him not being.
He
good.
all yeah.
Yeah.
Admittedly, he could also
He's
just throw.
a
I-
toss up. He's a toss up.
Like same with I honestly I feel like HBox would probably be pretty good at it.
Oh god.
Like legitimate.
Oh god.
Oh,
Oh, did we ever play Among Us with H? I don't think I did.
That would be interesting.
Oh.
Dude, as soon as you press the emergency button and HBox is alive, you know he comes into that lobby talking immediately. Oh man.
Yeah.
Toph, what about you?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna take it in a completely different direction. I'm gonna say Willem Dafoe,
What?
the actor. I was just thinking about how dude, I was just thinking about how good of a job he did in the latest Spider-Man movie as the Green Goblin, and I was just like, I just feel like that guy has such a range as an actor that he would be the perfect sussy imposter.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's not
man.
wrong. I can see it.
Yeah.
I mean,
now next Genesis we get Willem Dafoe to play Among Us with us, and we raise enough money for Genesis.
We raise a bunch of money. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he could help us raise a bunch of money. Yeah, I'm somewhat of a crewmate myself. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. See?
How do you
I
do,
guess
fellow
he would-
kids?
He'd be a good stretch goal for sure.
No, well, that's I think you're mixing up.
I know,
That's,
I know it's a different guy, but I just.
Oh,
that's how I felt.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you? While we're on the topic,
Who?
PP. Oh, I guess you gave
no,
your answer.
I
You
said none and
none
mango.
was your answer. None and mango. Yeah, those are good answers. Those are good
Yeah.
answers.
I mean, I played it relatively safe with the mango. I don't think he's gonna do a bad job with all his mafia experience. And then none, I think especially as he gets more experience, like I think his first couple games maybe or whatever, but I think as he learns how people play and the
Mhm.
rules and everything, I think he picks it up real fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, really great Among Us discussion here. Thought we nailed that down. That's definitive and factual, much like the rankings as we've discussed. But Moky, thank you so much for coming on, man. Great insight, a lot of fun. And Toph, thank you so much for holding it down as always. Thank you guys out there for calling in.
That's
We will
right. Remember,
see
we do
you-
this every single Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. East Coast time.
That's right.
And to the people watching on the YouTube, you should come by one of these Tuesdays. My chat, PPMD's chat, always a good time, and we would love to talk to you live on air. On the next Radio Melee.
Peace.